Hey guys, so now that Blade Runner 2049 has been out for a full weekend, I thought it was about time that I talk about some spoilers regarding the movie because, we need to talk about things. There's a lot that happens in this film that I couldn't talk about in the initial review. So, right here, I'm going to talk about everything that goes down that I can officially now talk about with that spoiler warning. So, first of all, a very big reveal happens very early on in this film involving Ryan Gosling's character, which is the fact that he is actually a replicant. That's right, Officer K, Ryan Gosling's character, is straight away revealed to be a replicant. Like, he's walking down this hall, and one of the other Blade Runners, I believe it's a Blade Runner that says it to him, it might not be, but he says to him, like, something along the lines of, what they call them? Skin job? Calls him a skin job. And I was sort of sat there thinking, that's what they called replicants in the first Blade Runner. Maybe that's just a general insult. He can't be a replicant, right? And he goes back to his apartment, and we find that he definitely is a replicant. His wife is this projected hologram thing that he carries around with him. And you really feel sympathy for him, and that's really weird because with the replicants in the first movie, they had no real development. There was that whole thing: is Deckard a replicant? Is he not? But in this one, yeah, Ryan Gosling's definitely confirmed straight away as a replicant. And it's not really referred to much. It's just the fact that he is the character. He's the main character, and he's not human. And it's like I never expected that, but it's actually working for me, and I'm really liking this. The way they're going about this. Because the thing with Ryan Gosling's character is the fact that he's such a sympathetic character. I felt more for Ryan Gosling in this movie than I ever really did for Deckard in the first movie. Deckard's a bit of an asshole in the first movie. In this one, Ryan Gosling's character, Kay, straight away, he's just a nice dude, and you really do feel for him when you're watching him on the screen. You're like, yeah, I can see why this character is the main character and why I should feel for him. And I appreciated that. I thought that was really great. So, so he's going after Dave Bautista's character, but then he comes across these bones, and I sort of guessed what they were quite early on, but it's still a bit of a shock when you do find out because they do in fact belong to Rachel, the replicant from the first Blade Runner, whom Deckard falls in love with, and you find out there's a daughter involved. Well, you find there's a child involved. You don't find out it's a daughter till quite later on. You find out there's a child involved. Rachel and Deckard have had a child, and it's very heavily implied that it's Kay, because when you find he's a replicant and everything, but then the twist is that it's actually not Kay. There's a really good scene when he finds out that he's not the child, and you can just see it. You feel the sympathy for him in his face. You're like, yeah, this is a really good piece of acting from Ryan Gosling. He did really well during this scene. So yeah. As we go throughout the movie, Ryan Gosling has to meet up with the Deckard from the first movie who's in hiding after the events of that movie. There's a really good scene. I said that Jared Leto's character was a bit pointless. And that one scene I mentioned that he's not pointless in is the one where he actually he creates another Rachel for Deckard. And this scene's really well done by Harrison Ford. He's traumatized by events from the first movie. And there's this bit when he looks to Jared Leto and he's like, she has the wrong eyes. And he just walks away and you're thinking, shit, what's going to happen here? And then she just gets shot point blank in the head. And it's like, whoa, Deckard really cares for this woman because there's one slight flaw. And it's like, no, destroy it. And, I just thought Harrison Ford did really well in this movie. You see the famous spinner, it gets blown up straight away though, so I don't expect to see an action scene in that. I mean, don't expect to see an action scene at all, really. But yeah, so what you find out about Deckard is, the whole replicant thing from the first movie is never fully explained, which I really liked. I was kind of worried that straight away they'd be like, yeah, he's a replicant, fuck it. But no, I mean, it's still heavily implied that he is a replicant because of the fact that he's got a child and, the whole thing with Rachel, because it's like, Jared Leto's character is saying things like how, two replicants together can have a child and it's a bit of a miracle, but we never know if Harrison Ford is a replicant, if Deckard is a replicant. So it's like, it's even more of a mystery if a human and a replicant can have a child. And, there's a lot to think about in this movie. So there's a lot that I've talked about that, is flat out told to us. There's also a lot that you have to think about and you have to guess, or you have to, use your imagination. And I feel like if they made a third one, it would just ruin all the mystery in this one and the first one, because where can you go from here? You have to reveal everything if you're going to make another one. And that's just not something I want to see. I want this movie to remain a mystery, and I want things, to remain how they are. Because the mystery of Blade Runner is just more of the fun of watching Blade Runner, and I really like that. That's why I'm glad we don't know that Deckard's a replicant, and why, most of the stuff in this movie is sort of left for us to imagine. But the last shot of this movie is really great. It's not as ambiguous as the first one with the little unicorn. But what we get is Deckard meeting up with his child, and it's a daughter who we see very early on in the film. So we've already been revealed who the child is, but we don't know, because all the movie we think it's Kay. But then when we see who it is, it's like, I remember her from earlier on in the film, and they heavily implied it earlier on in the film. But it's like, how did I not guess that? And that's the beauty of this film, that you can't guess really anything that's going to happen throughout, apart from the fact that, that there is a child involved. But it's just great. It is really great. So have you seen Blade Runner 2049 yet? What did you think of it? There's probably so much more to talk about regarding spoilers, but I just wouldn't know what to say, because there's so much happens in this movie. It's such a long movie, but it just doesn't feel as long as it is. So definitely, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out like as soon as possible, because it's just such a good film. It's probably, well, it definitely is the best film at the moment. My favourite film of the year. I'm still yet to see it a second time, so maybe I've missed some things out that I've forgotten about, because I only saw it the once. But if so, maybe I'll make a second spoiler video. No, I'm not going to do that. But stay tuned, because I heard that there's a Last Jedi trailer coming today, and I'll try and make a reaction video to that for you guys if I get back in time, because I do have classes today. But yeah, stay tuned, because I will definitely, if it's not a reaction video, I'll definitely make like a breakdown / review of that trailer. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.